The truth of the matter is, with Mary and Pam, all the new news and hot topics.
For local information, you can contact the Columbia Embassy. You can contact www.naacp. Donald Trump. Part of it. I think that hello, welcome to our podcast, The Truth of the Matter Is with Mary and Pam. We are just excited that you have decided to spend this time with us today, but there is so much going on in the world today. I don't want to stick to a long introduction or anything like that. I just want to get into the topics of what's going on today in this world. Yeah, we are just at a crisis in our lives in America. And we need to understand that. And when we have Congress people that can be locked in a bathroom in a building because they didn't want to vote on a certain bill and to be forced, we got problems. We got serious problems. We're supposed to be a free country, right? And I've never even heard of them doing something like that in the foreign countries. And we cannot continue to sit here and just say, well, in 3.5 years, Donald Trump will be gone. Well, so will America be gone. That's right. In 3.5 years, because we're sitting here letting him, the Congress has relinquished all of their authority that the Constitution gave them to have control over the funding. And they were saying last night that Donald Trump and his family are just getting filthy rich. They are off of deals that they're making, and nobody is saying anything. He's suing these radio companies and these news outlets and everybody, and the judge is giving him millions of dollars to do that, to do which they know is wrong to do. And so we've got to make a change. And it is so sad. But somebody said yesterday in a meeting, we were in a interracial meeting, and somebody said, this is not going to stop until there's bloodshed. And they're probably right. And that is so sad. It is. To have to even think about. And then we will be like a third world country. And we will be like a third world country. And then everybody will be fighting against everybody else. You shoot my dog, I kill your cat, kind of thing that we're going to be in. And we have to understand that this is not a laughing matter. And this is not something to play with. Nobody's going to just hand this United States over to Donald Trump to do as he pleases with it. And I am so proud of the Congresswoman who refused to sign a document that have those law enforcement agencies. Once again, it was a woman. Yeah, once again, it was a woman, a black woman at that. And she did the right thing. What she did was, for those that don't know, because everybody doesn't always pay attention to what's going on, in Texas, they were trying to pass this redistricting, which was going to give the GOP 5 additional seats to the Republican Party. To cut the black folks out. And they were doing that by going through these districts where they were cutting the black folks. Their vote would not amount to anything, the way they were redistricting these lines. And they were not doing it in a legal form. They were doing it in an illegal form, doing it backdoor, underhandedly through the Senate. And so the Congress, and so what they were doing was they were going to have this vote. And in order to keep this from happening, then the Democratic Party left the area so that they could not have this vote because they didn't have a quorum, which is the number of people they needed to have this vote. And then what happened was that the Democrats came back, this
one Democratic person refused. They had to sign a relinquish
Yes.
their rights.
They're all
Because
of
they
their
had to
rights.
sign a paper saying that the police or the ICE or whomever they were
Take them wherever they
had
need
to
go.
walk with them everywhere they went,
Even to the bathroom.
even to the bathroom, so that they would not leave, so that they could make this vote happen. And that as long as it took, that was as long as these individuals would be following them around. In other words, they were in protective custody.
They were in protective
And
custody.
so this individual said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sign away my rights. And so she didn't sign that. So what did they do? They locked her in the building, the Capitol in Texas.
And locked her in the building.
Locked her in the building so that she could not leave, and left her there until they could do this vote. And they did this vote, and it passed. It still has to go through their Senate.
Yes.
But they said that they don't think they're going to have a fight at all from the Democrats on that end. And so they know it's got, and the governor said as soon as it hits his desk, he's going to sign it. So we already knew that, so it's in the law. But thank goodness we have a governor in California, Gavin Newsom, who just said we're going to fight fire with fire. And so what he has done was said, if you're going to do the redistricting there, we're going to redo the districting
They've already
here.
done the redistricting.
And the thing about it is they're saying, well, the people in Texas, and they're saying we're going to fight that because they're doing that illegal in California. The difference, and they're stating this in California, and listen to this closely. In Texas, they went and did that behind closed doors, underhandedly, no warning. The people had no idea and no chance to have a voice.
No chance to have a voice.
But in California, they're doing it.
They're going to vote.
And they're going to vote. And it's going to pass.
Absolutely.
And they know it's going to pass, but it's going to be done in the legal, rightful way.
That's it.
And so what they're doing is they're saying, well, you're going to go where you're going to get 5 seats, and we're going to make it here where we're going to gain 5 seats.
Yep.
So we're going to fight fire with fire.
And then they also he's also recommended to other governors,
Democratic governors,
that those areas where they got areas that they can do what Texas did.
Yep.
In the liberal vein,
such as Missouri,
that they do. Like in Missouri,
we had no. They can do what they did in Texas.
They may
be able
to do that. And Missouri is just a little. We have some blue spots.
We have some blue spots.
So we may be able to.
It'll be a fight.
It will be a fight. But you know what? We have got to fight.
We're ready to fight.
We're ready to fight. We're ready to fight. We are ready to fight as long as it takes, and any way that it takes. We've got to fight for our rights, because if we don't, we're not going to be a free country. And you can see what they are doing here is just so disgusting to me, is that they have taken America that everybody looked up to in the world as the class act state, and they have taken it down to the bottom of the pit. We are not respected by anybody. And the thing about it is that it is a terrible security risk. The people, the United States, talking about their strength and how strong they are. But when all of these other people come together against us, that is going to be a whole different. And I know nobody have all of this atomic power that we have, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to get it. That doesn't mean that they're not going to go after us to even take it, and that we're not going. The reason why we could be so supportive, because they were going to be supportive of us if we had gone to war.
But that's what happens when you put a mob boss over a country.
That's it.
Because what we have got is a mob boss.
And they knew it when they put him in there.
And they knew it when they put him. When they put Donald Trump in that position, he was really broke.
Yes.
He was a rich broke man.
Yes.
Because he owed everybody, paid no one, and so he was a rich broke man. And what he has done is underhandedly, behind closed doors, while he's throwing up all these smoke screens that we're having to deal with, he's robbing our country of not only money, but our dignity, our pride. He is robbing us. He's robbing us of everything, of our liberty and our pursuit of happiness for his own happiness and his personal gain. And so we have got to stop and see, and all these people that are supporting him.
And had the nerve to say he was trying to get to heaven. I'm just saying, you'll be up there like the other Satan trying to throw God out if you got to heaven. That's what you would be doing.
It never would happen.
I mean, even if you got there, that's what you'd be doing. You'd be trying to pull those angels that you could get together.
You can't get to heaven holding the Bible upside down and trying to have your own personal Bible. You can't make it. And so that's impossible.
But I'm going to tell you one thing. I've said it before, and I hope that I live long enough to see it. That God is going to bring him down. He's talking about heaven. And God is going to bring him down. And for us all to see that he is not God.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way he walks around there, wants to put on the Pope's hat, you know, and all of these kinds of things, as if he wants to put on the crown, and as if he is the king, and all of this stuff. And you would think that his children, hopefully they're not like him. You know, people say they are, but I see some kind of, moving away, and I don't know if it's because he has said move away and you don't need to be involved.
They don't need to right now because he needed them the first go round. He doesn't need them now.
He doesn't need them now. And those people who have absolutely nothing to benefit from what he's doing are the people that are supporting him.
They don't understand.
They don't understand.
That's the sad thing. They don't understand.
They don't understand.
They are
caught up in their racist beliefs.
That's what it is. And people don't like to say it, but it's all about black and white.
That's all.
That's what it's all about.
It's about the Civil War,
exactly.
And the fact that they lost the Civil War, and they were saying, we shall return.
Yes, it is.
And that's what and Donald Trump promised them that he would give them that return.
And the sad thing is, it's not really that it's a large number. It's just that the larger number doesn't want to display themselves in that manner.
Right.
So that's why they have been hesitant to fight fire with fire, because they were trying to be different than that, better than that, above that. But when you are in a war,
you can't take a knife to a gunfight.
Exactly. And so we are at war for our democracy. And so we have to do what we have to do. And so if we have to do what Governor Newsom's doing in California, then we have to do what we have to do.
We're going to have to put our feet in the street.
We are. And then we have to look at everything. The sad thing is that Donald Trump does so much dirt. One thing after the other, you don't almost know where to begin, because before you can really get your foot in the door here dealing with this, he's over here doing this. And that's not Donald Trump. That's those little minions that he has that's saying, this, what can we get from you? And this is what you need to do to stay, to keep folks kind of off balance.
I'm proud of the media because they won't let him take them away from these unseen fouls. Epstein, I call them unseen Epstein fouls. They won't let him take them away from those Epstein fouls because there's something in there very detrimental.
Oh yeah,
to Donald Trump, and no telling how many, not just Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Some of these people that are helping him out here, they're in there too. Some of them are in there too, and they are protecting themselves and their lives. That's what they are doing, and that's why they're not just fighting for Donald Trump. So don't anybody think for one moment that they are just fighting for, just like Prince Andrew. So, you know, there were other people. We don't know how many other people.
Right.
I mean, high-level people, and I don't care what kind of reputation they got. If those men, those dirty old men, were in there raping those 14 and 15-year-old girls,
not just girls.
For
girls and boys.
Girls and boys.
Children.
It is just disgraceful.
It's
disgraceful that we sit here and allow that to happen and say it's okay. It's disgraceful. If Donald Trump hadn't touched the one of them, he knew exactly what Epstein was doing. And so even if he knew what he was doing and he was his best friend, 10 years, you don't be close friend with somebody for 10 years and not know what they're doing.
Exactly.
No, you don't.
Exactly.
And
You
so
know
he
exactly
knew
what they were
exactly
doing.
what they were doing,
Mhm.
and might very well show that he was involved with it. Who knows? And then they're all upset because somebody said that Epstein introduced him to his wife, that he knew her before.
He probably did.
They were sounding like he knew her before.
That's probably the truth.
And truth or not, I have no idea whether it's the truth or not. But that's in there,
right? And
they don't want all of that. They don't want all that, and you know that she's coming back out a little bit. That she wanted to make sure Donald's supporting her, you know. So, but it's
it's so much stuff. There were things I was listening even today to the news today. They at the White House, they have shut down tours of the White House,
of our house,
They shut it down. And why did they shut it down? Because Donald Trump said he needs a bigger ballroom to entertain.
Yes.
Now, all the presidents that have been there and have entertained some of the biggest people from the biggest countries, he didn't have enough. And so he shut down school tours that the children would take, educational tours and things.
We can no longer go to our house.
And he did this so that he could expand it, remodel it to his satisfaction.
Yeah. As if he's going to be there forever.
If that wasn't spending enough money, ICE is to get new trucks.
Yeah, and the $30,000 bonuses.
Yes, $30,000 bonuses, but they're to get new trucks. And on the back of these new trucks, in gold, they're going to have defend the homeland. So the immigration department is going to have to spend millions and millions on revamping these SUVs.
When we're closing hospitals,
right,
and taking SNAP away from people's
right,
a roof over people's heads.
And then he's saying that this is urgently needed, and that's the word he uses so loosely, urgency. He's saying this is urgently. It is urgently needed that we revamp these ICE vehicles to say defending the homeland in gold. And that's a priority. Millions and millions of dollars.
Everything that he does it for his glory.
Exactly.
Everything. He doesn't do anything for the country. He doesn't
Not
do
at all.
anything for the country. You know, and I was looking at him and Putin and Lewinsky and that whole
red carpet, embarrassing.
He comes and lays out this red carpet for this war criminal to walk in. Of course, they both war criminals. They both criminals.
Right. For two criminals to walk on.
And he will lay that out for Putin.
And then bring out the beast. And for those that don't know what the beast is, that's the vehicle.
That's the
president's top armored vehicle. The beast brought it out. And they don't do that for all dignitaries. Right. But they did that. He did that for Putin.
And then try to pretend like he
didn't do it for Zelensky.
But he's trying to pretend that he is kind of in his corner, but everybody sees right through that.
Oh no, because his ideal thing is that Ukraine would give up some land, and Putin would be happy. Yeah. That's his idea, and so when he talks about, well, you know, the ball's in their court, and he's just going back and forth. He has no resolve, and he really doesn't care.
That land was taken back by Ukraine because it's theirs.
Right.
And they took it back, and they're not giving it back.
Right. And they shouldn't have to.
And they said, you know, if something happened to Lewinsky, that they said they were going to fight on anyway.
Fight on anyway. And that's what they should do.
They are not going to give in. This is their land, their home. And, you know, and this is biblical. They did that in biblical times. They fought for what was theirs. And you would fight for what is yours. You know, you wouldn't just give it up because somebody decided that they want to come in and invade your home and take it over. You wouldn't just give it up. So we got the thing that, you know, I was very impressed with yesterday with the group of women. We have a group that we work with called When She Votes. And there was just a lot of discussion yesterday on redistricting and those things that we need to do. And this group is willing, you know, to get out there and to help demonstrate and do whatever needs to be done. to make sure that we in Colombia, we can, all politics, we say all politics is local. And so we can only do what we can do in Colombia, but we all also know that how things happen across the country is that you do something good. And for instance, the lady that refused to sign the slip, and it goes all over the United States. And it gives other people incentive and gives you and me the opportunity to say, sister, we are with you, that we hold you in such high esteem,
And some of the other representatives there, now she was the one that got locked in, but some of them
was there,
tore up their papers and said, we are going to stand in solidarity with you. And so I commend them on that.
Yeah, and they don't want to talk about those, but they were there doing that, and that just goes to show you that that they don't have everything locked down the way they think they've got it locked down. And some of these people, when they start looking at, they talk about gerrymandering, when they start looking at gerrymandering and some of these people that he's got up there on high level that got representative seats and Senate seats that start to lose those seats, and I believe that we can still
if they get out there and fight. And see, that's the difference in the gerrymandering that they're talking about in California and there. In Texas, it's racial gerrymandering that they're doing. They're doing that to affect those African American and minority districts.
Yes.
And in California, that is not what they're doing when they redistrict. That is the difference in what's going on. So people need to know when they're saying they're
offset what they're doing.
Right, and they're not doing that for any racial or any divide. And so people need to understand that when they say they're doing the same thing and we're going to fight it. What you're trying to fight is what's right, and what you're doing is what's wrong.
That's exactly right.
And so people need to kind of understand what's going on with that. And then the other thing I wanted, what do you think about the mayor, Eric Adams, in all that's going on in New York with his advisors sending bribe money in potato chip bags?
He should have been removed anyway.
He should have been removed anyway.
And so I have no respect for him at all.
None at all. And he's been bought by Trump.
He's been bought and paid for.
By Trump.
Yes. So you could expect that from him.
Right. And so now they've got the one lady that they had, that her name, she was his advisor, Winnie Greco. She's the one that so-called was allegedly that it handed this money, but then several other people have been accused of the same type of bribes since 2022 through 2024. Okay. And a lot of them were his top aides. Some of them have been indicted on receiving more than $75,000. And so he's got a mess going on up there in New York.
Yes.
And he needs to be removed.
And we don't support, I don't care what color you are.
Doesn't matter.
We don't support wrongdoing.
Wrong is wrong.
And if you're wrong, you're wrong. We are civil rights. The NAACP is a civil rights organization. So our thoughts and our feelings are for what's right, not for just to do it because somebody is African American. We don't. If you're wrong and you're African American, you deserve the same kind of punishment that everybody, no more, no less.
No more, no less. Right.
Okay. And so if you're wrong, and so and I have a real problem with these African American folks that we fight so hard for to gain the respect and the
then they
dignity
go
of
in
our
there,
people.
they get bought.
They get bought, and they can buy, and they don't understand that anything can be bought,
can be sold. That's right.
Anything that can be bought can be sold.
And they usually find out the hard way, because I'm sure Eric Adams knew when Trump came to him that he was being sold.
Absolutely.
He was bought, but he knew when he was being sold.
He knew when
because
he was
he didn't buy him just to hang on to him. He didn't look at him like he was a piece of gold property.
No.
It's like, I'm buying you now, but you owe me.
You owe me, and I'll sell you when I get ready.
When I get ready, and if you don't do my bidding, it'll be quicker than you think.
That's it.
We've got a mess going on with that. And then locally, close to home
Yeah.
with our university here in Missouri.
Yeah.
We're in Columbia, Missouri, and our university every year has a big
Black Expo
where the students, the African American, the Black Culture Center usually gets with other organizations, and they have a big Black Expo where they introduce African American students to the Black businesses in Columbia, the entrepreneurs, the Black businesses in Columbia, the Black churches, the Black businesses, so that they can meet like-minded people and be involved in the community as well as attending school. This has been going on for, I know, over 30 years. But last year, my understanding is that they were
asked the name.
They had to change the name,
and they did.
And they did it. And then this year, and this was after the election of Trump. We were told. This was after Trump. This is all alleged. But this year, we've been allegedly told that allegedly they are not allowed to have it at all.
That's what. And so, as soon as we get out of this podcast, we're going to be on it. Okay?
We are going to be on it.
Yes.
We are not going to sit still here in Columbia and allow them to do anything to the African American students here at the University of Missouri.
We're going to let the University of Missouri students know, Black students know that, and white students know.
We stand in solidarity.
We are standing in solidarity behind those students, and that we are not going to allow them to come to our university in our town and to be mistreated. And we are not going to be mistreated. We're not going to stand for it in Columbia because we're not going to stand for it.
I think that the university, the president is not thinking about what happened a few years back here on the university campus.
He doesn't care what happened.
Well, he should have learned from that because there was some strides made.
But they think that they've got Trump.
They think that they've got
Trump to protect them now.
So
that's why they feel, because as soon as they called for the DEI to be removed, as soon as they did, the University
before the ink got dry.
Before the ink got dry. They had done it. Had issued. A statement had gone out already.
That's the president.
That's the president.
So that means the president needs to find a new job.
That's what I think too.
And so we're going to work to see what other state might want a new president.
We've seen that
because we should have a vacancy.
We've seen that with the university and its conservative views stepping forward. We even saw that in our mayoral race when we had our football coach, and I'm still having hiccups with that because I am a Tiger fan to the core,
right.
And I'm very upset with him that he came out and tried to help buy the mayor's position in this city. And as far as conservatives were concerned, he was out there raising money and speaking for the mayor. And of course, we went to work.
We went to war.
And we
won. And we won with just a little bit of money.
Yes.
Because right is right and wrong is wrong.
That's it.
And we wanted to let them know that here in Columbia that we won't be bought.
We're going to vote for our
We're going to vote for our leadership, and the city council and the mayor have stood in solidarity with the citizens of Columbia. And so we are very proud of them for that.
Absolutely.
And that's why I don't think the president of the university, now the university is not just in Columbia, but the president is here in Columbia.
The flagship is in Columbia.
And we're getting ready to make some noise.
Absolutely.
And
we're going to notify the state.
Right. And we know we can make a difference.
So that they can make, because we have a lot of students coming in from St. Louis and Kansas City.
Yes.
And so we're going to contact them to share with them.
Oh yeah, because you've got football players and basketball players.
Absolutely.
Those African American students
that make money for the University of Missouri.
Exactly.
Big money.
Exactly.
So
we've had a few of them go pro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we are going to tap into all the resources that we can.
That's it.
And try to make some changes. And I think we need to start with president.
We sure need to. We need to. I'm president emeritus, but I am encouraging the president of the NAACP to get a letter out to Mr. Choa as soon as possible to let him know our dissatisfaction and demand a meeting with him.
Exactly. So we're going to make some changes here. We've got to stand up, and like we said, we've got to start locally. And we're going to start locally, and I don't think we're going to have a hard time.
And we are not afraid.
No, we're not scared.
We're not scared. We are not scared. We're not going to be scared. We know what the situations are out there. I've already gotten some of these letters in the past and used to them, But whatever the situation, we cannot be afraid. People have had to die to get us the freedom that we have had here. We cannot let nobody wanted to die, nobody planned to die. But we cannot allow somebody to frighten us into not doing what we need to do.
Well, I fight for not just myself. I fight for my children and my grandchildren.
And I fight for the community.
And the community.
The whole community. We want a community that we can all be proud of to say that I'm from Columbia, Missouri, and we did this, we got this done there, And we can, when we have a problem, we can come together and we can talk about it. We can work on it. We can work it out. And I'm happy to be able to do that for the community. But we do have children and grandchildren, nieces and nephews.
Oh, yes. And I'm talking about not just in Columbia. I'm talking about when I fight, and I'm talking about democracy. I'm talking about I want my grandchildren to grow up to have the freedom to be whoever they want to be, and to be not have to walk out on streets with military and guns around everywhere, or having to worry about freedom of speech, or having to not be proud of being Black, because that's what they're trying to do, is strip away the any means of our young people knowing who they are and where they came from by taking books out of the schools and just trying to make them feel like they have nothing to be proud of. That's what I fight for.
And people do not understand unless you've been in that situation. I had the privilege of traveling abroad, and so my husband and I were in Haiti the week before. They had that terrible disruption. They had everything break out. And when we got off the ship and went into the town, on every corner, there was the military with their guns. And, and they weren't yet in that war. And they weren't at war with us. But I was saying to my husband, I want to go back to the ship. But I don't want to be walking down this street where there is military people, 2 or 3 military people on every corner. That made you feel so uncomfortable, so uncomfortable. So we went back to the ship. We didn't do as much looking at Haiti, shopping in Haiti and that sort of thing as we had intended to do because of that reason. And then it was the very next week. I did not know that they were at the time that they were that close to war, and it was the very next week that the war really just broke loose, and Haiti is where everybody was getting killed, everybody was fighting, and but so I know how it feels to have those officers there with guns,
and they say, well, like even with ICE, when they approach people, they don't know if they're an immigrant or not.
No.
They're not just going up to people and saying, we've got this sheet of paper with your picture, your name, this, that, and they're snatching folks off the streets. They don't know if you're an immigrant or not, and you might look like you're an immigrant.
Right.
Or what have you. And they're not going to stop at just immigrants.
That's right.
And we know that.
Absolutely.
And so we have got to fight for the right to live, and not just live, but be comfortable. You're right, be comfortable in our country. And so that's what I fight for. And so we just have to do what we have to do.
And they're standing there with masks on. When you know, it was so important for us all of our lives that a police officer identify himself, even with his name, his number, and his face.
The only ones that hid behind sheets was the Klan.
That was the Klans were on it. So what these people have done have taken the Klan robes off and put on the ice
mask. Exactly. That's exactly
who they are, and that's why Trump let them out of prison, because he knew that he was letting, when he talked about prisoners, he knew he was letting those bad people out of prison, because they had showed him how bad they were when they broke into the Capitol.
They were willing to do.
That they were willing to do whatever.
The disgusting things that they did in the Capitol.
In the Capitol, feces on the floor and all of that.
They just disrespected the
like
building.
Animals.
Just like
they
animals.
were like animals.
Yes.
And so he saw that they were willing to go to any length.
And that they could be bought.
And that they could be bought.
And that they were not smart enough to know that they were being used.
That's it.
That was the whole thing.
That's it.
They were being used. They thought he was working for them, and they were working for him.
Exactly.
And that's the sadness. They actually
and that's
thought,
where they are right
Trump's
now.
there fighting for us. And it's like, y'all don't understand. Trump's sitting back
and letting you fight,
golfing and hanging out and counting his money, and you fighting for him.
And then did you hear
to get more?
J.D. Vance, how many vacations that he has taken?
It's ridiculous.
And the amount of money that he has spent.
It's ridiculous.
He and his family to all of these places that they ever wanted to go, and the cost that we have incurred.
It's ridiculous.
That is
well, first off, they don't think they're ever leaving those positions. So they think that what they're doing. And if we don't fight, they won't.
Well, I got news for them.
So
I just think that I can almost promise them they ain't going to stay in those positions.
Well, that's what they think. And so they think that
try.
And see, as it gets closer to the election, they will start trying to pull back and really lying about what they've done, trying to cover up and trying to ask for forgiveness and ask for like nothing ever happened until they hopefully could get back in that position. And then if they don't, they worry about if any criminal action or anything is going to be brought up against them. So they will be fighting for their lives when it comes time for election. So we're going to have a fight on our hands, and it's going to be a lot of cheating
and that's
going on. So we're going to have to really
that's the whole
be
thing
prepared.
Is when they do those judges and those sorts of things, we have got to fight to make sure that we got people in there.
And the electors.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, helping count those ballots and all, because they will cheat. They will cheat and then pretend, just like they did with the Epstein's file, say, we've lost them.
Yep. Well, we know we got to fight, so we just need to be prepared to fight. We just need to be prepared to fight.
Well, we cannot resolve the whole world issues today, but we want to let you know why we are going to be sometimes, as people say, that's old news. We cannot let what is happening to us now, be old news. We have to make sure that we keep it fresh in front of everybody. And I am so proud of MSNBC, because they are saying it and they're doing it. It's making sure that they keep, like the Epstein file, in front of folks. So, because Donald Trump is doing everything that he can, so we don't know what terrible things are in there. Exactly. He's doing whatever he can to keep that from becoming known to the public. And so we just have to keep fighting for them to get those files. And if there's nothing there, show it to us. Let us say we were wrong.
Right. And as you stated, we cannot solve all the problems today, but we can inform you of things that are going on around you or around us to keep you aware. And we hope that we are enlightening you on some of the issues and things that are out there, and giving you some ideas of ways that you can get involved and help fight. Like we said, we're in Columbia, Missouri. We're going to do what we can do here. You can do what you can do at home, because there are groups and organizations that are in every city that are out there making noise and trying to do what is right. So find those groups and organizations and become a part of it, and do your part. Every little part is a piece of a puzzle, and if we can put that puzzle together, we can make a difference.
So the Noble Court is being recognized that particular day also. They're going to be unveiling.
It's going to be an unveiling of Noble Court, and for those that don't know what that is, Noble Court is the first Black neighborhood here in Columbia, Missouri, and they are going to set up a sign and do a dedication.
They got the sign, and they're going to do an unveiling.
An unveiling of the sign and dedication service. So if you are in Columbia area, please come and participate at Progressive Church. It's on Banks Avenue or over on Noble Court for the unveiling of the first Black community here in Columbia, Missouri. But we want to thank you for joining in on our podcast today. We want to remind you that you can send us any questions or just any to get in touch with us anyway by going to truthofthematters1@gmail.com. That's truthofthematters1@gmail.com. Please drop us some questions. Introduce yourselves to us. We'd love to hear from you. We want to ask you to please like, subscribe to our podcast so that we know that we're going in the right direction. And we will promise to try to bring the news to you to keep you informed on what's going on in today's issues. So we want to thank you for being here with us today. And the truth of the matter is